Hi and welcome to Step Strides. I'm Connor Ratcliffe and we're back in the garage gym today looking at some potential loading strategies for our calf, Achilles and plantar fascia. Today's exercise is a fun plyometric exercise, so it's a good progression. Not going to be suitable for everyone, but again, that needs to be appropriate to your patient and based off your assessment. Today's exercise is got a few names. Might put a slash in the title for this, but Pogos / bunny hops, depending on where you're looking and who you're listening to, I suppose. I'm going to cover all bases. So it's a jumpy exercise by definition as plyometric, and that puts more force, more load through the structures. And this one particularly likes to load the Achilles tendon, but it will also load plantar fascia quite a bit. Now this actually becomes a bit more of a cardiovascularly demanding and challenging exercise, and typically I will use this as a progression once I've got good capacity through controlled range of motion. Again, you can do this in trainers and it doesn't actually matter too much because we're not going through range of motion and we're not dropping heel to ground, and we want that cushioning under the forefoot. So most people aren't going to tolerate this doing it on barefoot, harder ground, so you do need a really cushioned mat, or this one actually is a good one to do in trainers. So we can do this double limb again, we can do it single limb. Obviously once you progress to single limb you double load, but there is a bit more of a stability demand. So if you need to, you can get your patients to hover a hand near something so they can just help with balance, or you can actually hold on when you do this. You just need to make sure you're not pulling yourself up. So we'll start with double limb, and a couple of key points and cues here. The one that I typically use that people resonate with is that they're skipping but without the rope, essentially. So it takes away that sort of more challenging neuromuscular complex pattern. You can do it with a rope should you wish, but 9 times out of 10 there's no real benefit to it. So that's the cue I'll give, and it's being bouncy basically. What we don't want is lots of knee flexion. These aren't soft hops. We're not trying to train that lower limb spring shock absorption pattern through hip, through knee, through ankle. So we're not jumping and coming down and jumping and coming down. This is bouncy, and we want to just move from the ankle, like you're skipping on the spot. Typically the cues I will use. So I'm going to hover if I need to, but for double limb I'm all right, and we're just going to bounce, and I'll do this for time. So, and this is why I think it's got the name as either pogo or bunny hops, because you're hopping like a bunny or like you're on a pogo stick. Now if we want to do this single limb, exactly the same, bouncy, and you'll note that we get lots of rapid rate of loading through digital dorsiflexion, so we get the fascia, but it really trains elastic potential energy storage through the Achilles tendon and release, and it helps with Achilles tendon stiffness. So it's a good progression, especially with return to run or weight bearing exercise where you require jumpy, bouncy movements. So we'll look at some single inversion. We want to keep the knee fairly locked. Just move from the foot, just bounce from the foot. We're not soft in the knee. And that is our double limb and single limb pogo or bunny hop exercise.